Hello, and welcome back to another episode of White Album 2's light novel series reading. We are currently reading through Volume 1. Last week we left off at a particularly precarious moment. So this was finally, Setsuna has figured out what was going on with Haruki and Kazusa. And it wasn't even that big a deal. He was sleeping over at her house for days on end, but they kept it a secret. And the fact that they kept it a secret alludes to more going on. Even though in actuality nothing happened, you don't keep that a secret, come on. So, Setsuna's confronted Kazusa about it. Things are very awkward. So, let's continue on. But you kept quiet about it. Isn't that what you would call hiding? Well, if I had said so, it wouldn't really change anything? I guess so. It's none of my business anyway. That's not what I mean. What do you mean then? Kazusa reflexively shrank back. She had never heard Setsuna yell like this before. The fact that the two of you have been having secret rehearsals together isn't because it's none of my business? Ogiso, this whole time, I thought that Kitahara-kun was practicing all by himself all day, every day, as hard as he could, so Setsuna looked away, as though she had regained control of herself. I'm sorry, Toma-san. No, you don't have to apologize, Ogiso. Why? Why am I like this? I hate it. As she muttered that it wasn't supposed to go like this, Setsuna's gaze seemed to be fixed on something far away. I shouldn't have said anything, I know, but I just couldn't get it off my mind. I'm sorry. Seriously, why are you apologizing? I'm the one who... No, it's okay. I know I'm just being childish. If you could just say something, She had never seen pain like this in Setsuna's face before, and it left her at a loss for what to do. Yikes. Big yikes. This is so bad. The fact that Setsuna had a tiny outburst, and now she's just apologizing over and over and over again because she's so afraid of losing her friends. Even after her friends did a really crappy thing to her, in the end, she just wants them to stay friends. That is so sad. That is trauma from losing her friends the first time. She never imagined that keeping quiet about the whole thing would cause such a shock to Setsuna. I'm so dumb. I didn't need to say any of that. Hey, Ogiso, wait. I'm sorry, Toma-san, for making you talk all about this and feel like you had to apologize. I want to apologize for ruining the mood, too. I know this is selfish of me, but please don't think about anything I just said. I'm going to make sure I sing properly this afternoon. All right. Yep, I can do this. I'm just going to wash my face. Setsuna's smile as she left the living room definitely carried some loneliness in it. Whatever the circumstances might have been, the fact was that Kazusa had been the reason for that look on her face. Yes, whatever the circumstances. I'm sorry I didn't say anything, Ogiso. There was no one to hear her murmured apology. Oh, I hate it. The first of many terrible things. Why is White Album 2 so sad? This is like the littlest bit of this is like high school drama bit. But it never ends. Let's move on to Haruki's piece. Our afternoon rehearsal wasn't bad at all. There were no errors in White Album. With its newly added saxophone performance by Toma, and while practicing my guitar solo, I managed to extend my limit, just the tiniest bit, by about 2 seconds. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either for some reason. I mean, if his max before was 6 seconds, now it's 8. And that's 8 out of 60. So, still got a ways to go. Individual practice aside, when we all played together, something felt different. On the surface, it seemed normal, and it's not as though any bad points stood out in any of our respective parts. But Ogiso's voice seemed to be missing some of its luster, and even Toma's playing seemed to lack its usual solidity. That's good for today. When Toma cut rehearsal short before night fell, I had to assume that had something to do with it. So awkward now. See, this is why, you shouldn't date within your band. You shouldn't date roommates. You shouldn't date coworkers, because it just causes conflicts with your usual life, with your usual tasks. And now we're seeing it here in their rehearsal. Since it was close to dinner time, we held a small closing party of sorts in commemoration of our weekend at a diner nearby, but I was the only one getting excited, while the two of them seemed awkward. I could have just assumed they were tired, but something was plainly different from how it had been this morning. But 7 o'clock arrived without my managing to ask about it. It's pretty cold out. Yeah. We worked pretty hard this weekend, huh? Yeah. It must have been pretty hard doing all that singing, Ogiso. No, not really. Oh, yeah? Huh. Yes. So weird, so awkward. As Ogiso and I walked to the Iwazucho station, the atmosphere between us felt a little strange. We just couldn't keep up a conversation. Normally, Ogiso would be talking all over the place, but now she seemed to cut off every thread of discussion, just like Toma had once. My ultimate failure to find a successful topic made me realize just how small my conversational repertoire really was. When I looked next to me, I found Ogiso with her usual smile, but something felt unnatural. I was a little unsure, but I decided to speak up. Is something wrong? Why? There's nothing wrong. Ogiso's tone seemed normal enough. If I hadn't known anything about her, I might have simply believed her, but I think there is. Sorry if I'm prying too much, but something is just bugging me. The time we had known each other thus far might be short, but that didn't mean our acquaintance was shallow. There was no way I wouldn't notice her being this distant with me. Ogiso always seemed to be enjoying herself around me. She let me see how she really was, unvarnished. If something was troubling her, I wanted to help. I think it's good that Haruki's brought it up, because for people who didn't really care, they were just in it for the band, probably wouldn't bring it up. And after she had said, no, it's fine, probably wouldn't have brought it up again. But he truly cares about her. And this is kind of proof of that. He wanted to see what's wrong. He just keeps pushing. Why? Huh? If you think you're prying too hard, then why ask? What would you do if I told you? Ogiso kept her gaze ahead of her. Zoinks. Well, now you definitely know that something's wrong with that kind of response. I didn't know what had led her to ask me this, but I decided to answer honestly. Well, if something is bothering you, then I wanted to know if I could help. Ogiso fell silent. I started wondering whether I'd embarrassed myself and kept talking to cover it up. I mean, we're friends, we're bandmates working together. You can tell me any. Ogiso? I could see the lights of the station and the stairs to the ticket gate, but Ogiso had stopped. I had thought the same thing. Huh? What she muttered was unclear, but she didn't go on. What's wrong with me? I'm sorry, Gitara-kun. I've been weird with you this whole time. After a moment, Ogiso suddenly looked up, smiling apologetically. I've actually been feeling a little off since this afternoon. Maybe I'm just tired. I didn't say anything because I was afraid of worrying you. Oh, really? Yep. Sorry if I did. I promise it isn't anything serious. Well, if you say so. She began walking again, saying no more. Just tired? Really? I mean, if she was just tired, do you really think she would have made that big a deal of it? Do you really think that muttering would have been from her just being tired? Like, come on. It hadn't sounded like she was lying. As she walked beside me, Ogiso's face seemed different from before, too. But would things really feel this far off from normal with her, if that were all? Why was I feeling more sadness coming off of her now? Listen, Ogiso, something still wasn't sitting quite right. And I tried to ask, but give me until tomorrow. Huh? By tomorrow, I'll be fine. I promise. Ogiso looked as though she were trying to convince herself as much as me. Bye, Kitahara-kun. See you tomorrow. Hey! Oh, she suddenly took off running, climbed up the stairs, and then her small form vanished through the ticket gate. What was going on? Something was definitely weird. Man. Setsuna having to tell herself, I'll be fine tomorrow. I'll get better tomorrow. I'll make myself be better tomorrow. Friends are supposed to be there to cheer you up. And now she has to deal with all this in order to keep her friends. At least that's what she thinks. That's so sad. Was she worried about something? Something she couldn't tell her bandmates? Something unrelated to the music club? The light music club? Or maybe she just hadn't told me because she didn't feel like she could turn to me. Feeling lonely and pathetic for not being able to be there for her, I headed for the ticket gate myself, for the train in the direction opposite to Ogiso's when... Kitahara-san! A familiar voice made me jump, and I turned around. Wow, what a coincidence! We just saw each other the other day, too. Yanagihara. Again. Why did I keep running into the last person I wanted to see? I saw that just now, you know. You, with Setsuna Ogiso. Yanagihara gave a delighted smirk. So, Kitahara-san, you do have an interest in girls. Though I can't say much for either of your tastes. Hey, don't misinterpret this. She's the new singer for the Light Music Club. My replacement, right? Everyone's been talking about it. Honestly, I'm pretty annoyed. The whole plane was my idea, and she is taking it over. Clearly, she's also desperate for attention. That's not what Ogiso is in this for. It has nothing to do with the contest. Oh, really? Then, will you tell Setsuna Ogiso to drop out of the contest, please? What? Why on earth would I... Come to think of it, I saw you at the corner store on Thursday too, I think. It was pretty late at night, though. I didn't see... Huh? Thursday? Late at night? Oh, right! I guess I just spotted you with a girl who wasn't Setsuna Ogiso. Someone had seen me with Toma? And here the drama continues, although I feel like this one matters a lot less. I don't know, it depends. Tomo is such a gossip. She's such an annoying... I really dislike her character. And so does Haruki. She'll use any dirt she can get on anyone to get where she wants to be. She wants to be the idol. She wants to be the actress. She wants to be on TV. It's so frustrating. Yes, I've been visiting a friend of mine who lives in this neighborhood a lot recently. Just did today, in fact. Oh, that reaction is all I need. Yanagihara chuckled. A boy and a girl going to a corner store late at night buying underwear? I mean, I can't think of any other possible way to interpret that. Yanagihara, she's also a member of the Light Music Club. Don't say another word. Although, to be fair, that's super weird. And I had mentioned that when we read through that part. Why would... Really? Haruki has to go buy underwear? If it's that unexpected, just wear the same underwear twice. Don't take a girl with you to go buy underwear at midnight. That's so weird. Dating two members of a light music club at once? I had no idea you had it in you, Kitahara-san. That one girl the other day, Setsuna Ogiso today. I don't think you have any room to criticize me. Stop. We were rehearsing that day and today too, and that is all. Our rehearsal space is in this neighborhood and we all gathered there. Blah, blah, blah. Why don't I tell the two of them about Thursday and today then? What? Oh, you don't look too happy about that. Well, what to do? There was derision in Yanagihara's eyes. I didn't care if she told Toma about today. But Ogiso didn't know about Thursday. Yes, she did. I mean, now she does. If someone dropped that on her, don't even joke about this. Come on, I'm serious. Oh, now that I think about it, forget about today. If the school were to find out that you took a female club member with you to buy underwear late at night, I imagine that would cause you a teensy little bit of trouble. Well, you? I forgot to take any pictures, so I don't have proof, but if I were to pretend to be a nice, diligent student and talk to some teacher or another, maybe, just maybe, they would listen. Maybe the guidance counselor? That could impact the Light Music Club a little. She's so evil. She's so evil. This is a very, very well-written scene, though, which wasn't in the game. And I love it. I mean, I hate it. It's awful. I hate Yanagihara, but this little bit of blackmail is very cool. And it adds to the drama of the introductory chapter, which, if you play the actual game, yes, there's drama, but it all kind of crops up in the end. Now there's just drama all the way through. So that's interesting. She had the look of one who knew her opponent was weaker. You want to play that show, don't you? If so, then make her retire from the contest. You may be cheating on her, but you are her boyfriend after all. Wretched beyond words. How could anyone want to win the Miss Hojo High competition this badly? Sooner rather than later, please, Kitahara-san. Otherwise, I'll have to find some teacher who's likely to make a fuss. Yanagihara! Shouting at her, or even hitting her, wouldn't resolve anything. What? Did he really consider hitting her? It was my own mistake, not being more cautious that night. I was so caught up in getting to go to Toma's house, having her undivided attention on my practicing. I should have made sure no one could find out. Huh? No one could find out? No one? That's all for now. I wasn't able to respond as Yanagihara left. Something else had completely taken over my thoughts. My head was full of what I just realized. Something I couldn't tell anyone. Not even to Ogiso. In fact, Ogiso was the last person I ever ought to tell. No. Now that Yanagihara had unexpectedly brought up this doubt, there was no making it go away. If this was indeed true, then it was no wonder Ogiso was in such a weird mood. But in that case, how badly had I hurt Ogiso? To the point of just cutting me off in so few words? The way she had been... Damn it. I stood there on the spot, frozen. It's a scary thing when you realize people figured out your lies. Seriously, like, He deserves every ounce of fear he's feeling right now. So he didn't even do anything that bad, but keeping secrets like that from your best friends, and he doesn't know she likes him, but like still, keeping secrets from your friends is awful. What was that about friends? What was that about you can tell me anything? What was that about I want to help? It never would have been settled without my knowing, because I was the one who caused the situation myself. What now? What was I supposed to do? I thought for a moment, then hit upon something. How had I invited Ogiso to join the light music club? Had I put together some kind of little trick to reel her in? Had I won her over with lies and smooth talk? No. I pulled my phone out of my pocket. I found the number I was looking for in my address book and pushed the call button. Hello? Yes, it's me, Kitahara. There's something I'd like to ask you. Wow, what an amazing bit of drama. I'm in awe of how well written that is. And I'm in awe of all these extra little twists that the novel throws in. It's so well done. It is really, really well done. And it makes me hate Yanagihara even more. I really, really don't like her. Oh, it's so good though. All right, let's continue on with Setsuna's piece. She didn't know where she was walking or how she was getting there. Even so, before she knew it, she was standing in front of her own house. After giving her family a half-hearted greeting, she shut herself up in her room. I'm so stupid. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to say any of that. Not to him, not to her, but She had lost it again. She never wanted to experience this again, and yet here she was, feeling the same thing. I'm so stupid. No one will ever. Her phone rang. After the ringtone bounced around the room for about a minute, it hung up. Her phone rang again. This time, the ringtone played for about 10 seconds longer than before, and then hung up. Good for Haruki for trying to call her, though. Bad on him for lying in the first place, but at least he's trying to fix it as soon as possible. The phone continued to call for its owner over and over. It wasn't as though she couldn't see the display. She wasn't going to turn off the phone. It wasn't as though she couldn't hear White Album playing instead of her usual ringtone, but Setsuna, as badly as she wanted to talk, she wanted equally badly not to talk. She had no idea how to handle this anymore. How to handle him, the one calling her. That's a mood. I could understand that. Like, if you're super upset, yes, you want to get it off your chest. Yes, you want to talk about it, but it's like all those feelings are trapped and you're afraid of letting them loose because it's going to unleash like a lot of pain and a lot of heartache and whatever. And so, yeah, she's just kind of stuck. Anyone would be justified in saying I had no regard for anyone else's convenience. I kept calling her and calling her roughly every 5 minutes. I had been at it for almost 2 hours, increasing the time I waited before hanging up little by little. Surely there was a limit to how persistent I could be, but I felt no inclination to give up. Because there was no other way. I had the sense that by tomorrow, it would already be too late. I wanted to apologize to Ogiso before the day was over. So even if she decided to set her phone to silent and leave it, I couldn't stop. At worst, even if it passed midnight, even if dawn broke, I knew I couldn't stop until she picked up. I had that responsibility. All right. I went through the same series of actions. It should be series of actions. Yet again. Pressed the call button, counted the dial tones. 10, 20, 30. What to do this time? Maybe I could try waiting through 5 more. Oh my God, when are you going to stop? Gah. The voice caught me off guard, and I nearly dropped my phone. Sorry, it's me. It's Kitahara. I know that. I can say it on my phone. Right, yeah, sorry. And sorry for calling you so many times. If you were that sorry, you could have stopped. Yeah, sorry. You just apologized again. No, well, yeah. I called you so I could apologize. In an instant, it felt like the atmosphere on the other end had changed. I'm sorry for being such a nuisance, but could you just give me a moment? Silence for a few moments. You haven't done anything to apologize for, Kitahara-kun. Yes, I have. I mean, today, I told you. I was just feeling a little unwell today. I also told you that tomorrow I would be fine. But right now, it's still today. I don't want to listen to you split hairs. It was my fault you were feeling weird, wasn't it? Ogiso said nothing, so I took a deep breath and continued. Good. Time to let loose the truth. The truth can, well, it probably won't heal all wounds, but it's time to tell the truth. I'm sorry, Ogiso. I actually stayed over at Toma's house last week. 3 nights, starting on Tuesday. Toma supervised my rehearsal until morning. I was coming to school from her house, and I didn't tell you. I kept it a secret from you. I'm really sorry. No tricks, no lies, or convenient fabrications. Just saying how I truly felt, honestly. How did Toma-san tell you? I heard about it from her on the phone. Toma didn't tell me herself. I asked her about it. I wondered whether that might be the deal. So, you noticed, Kitahara-kun? Ogiso mumbled. That's no good. I'm terrible at this. Ogiso. So, Toma-san told you what a tacky, clumsy thing I did. Getting angry for no reason, saying nasty things for no reason, then having the nerve to get depressed over it. No, Toma just said you'd found out. Oh, well, that was considerate of Toma-san. She sighed, remarking that she was just making herself look worse and worse. She's not making herself look worse. She's letting the emotions out, which is good because there's only 6 days left until the show. So they need to get over this. Not saying she has to forget it, but they need to sort things out. Why do I act like this? I never wanted anyone to see this ugly side of me. I could tell, even through the phone, that Ogiso was depressed. Well, you don't need a degree in engineering to figure out that she's depressed. I mean, she's pretty much just saying it. So I spoke up, honestly. Actually, I'm happy that I get to see that side of you, Ogiso. Huh? I don't hate the ugly side of you. I like it quite a bit, actually. What? Ow! Ogiso? Ow, I'm fine. I just smacked my foot. But what do you mean you're happy about it? Well, there are plenty of people who only know you as this sheltered princess. But on the other hand, we're the only ones who know about your ugly side. You act like your true self when you're with us, without pretending to be anyone else, right? So, I'm happy. And what you said about liking it? Well, I was a little sheepish, but I spoke earnestly. I simply mean that spending time with you, with that side of you, is more fun. Ordinary, always laughing, letting me ask all these favors of you, and loving to sing. I want you to be that Ogiso, even if it means being a little tacky. Kitahara-kun. But I'm the one who betrayed you just when we started to consider us friends. I can explain. No, you can't explain. I missed my chance to tell you at the beginning, and after that, it just got harder and harder to say anything. But to you, I'm sure it just felt like you were being alienated, so please let me apologize. I'm so sorry for hurting you. Ogiso went silent for a moment, but I knew she was still there, so I too went silent and waited. Soon enough, her voice came trickling back through the speaker. So, she is about to give us a little bit of backstory behind her and her feelings, so we will stop off there for today. So thank you so much for joining me on this chapter of the White Album 2 novel series, and I'll be back with more content shortly. So until then, I hope you take care. See you!